morning. Yeah, once in a row, right?
Hi, Megan.
Good morning.
And what's your name from Sullivan Renaissance? You look familiar.
My name is Diana Weiner, and
Hi, Diana.
I will put it up right now.
Great.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jamie.
Welcome to a beautiful morning and our final fifth session of Welcome to a New World. We are very glad to have all of you here, and we're going to be talking today how we can boost our mental and physical health in the COVID-19 era to minimize the impact of the virus and the social distancing in our lives, and to develop a healthier and more resilient new normal for the future. So we're looking forward to having this presentation. We have a lot of great presenters today, and I'd like to introduce each of you. When I'm done introducing each of you, I'm going to ask everyone but Kathleen to put themselves on mute, and we'll start with Kathleen this morning. One moment, please, while I get out my presenters list. So today we have Kathleen Christie. We have Amanda Langseeder from Sullivan 180, Megan Mullally Gore from Sullivan 180, Danielle Gable, and Eileen Miller, Doctor of Physical Therapy. So welcome all. And oops, somebody's got an echo.
I think Gary is disrupting.
Uh-oh. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, and we'll get started here. Thank you so much for being here, Kathleen. And why don't you give us a brief introduction of who you are and what you do, and we'll let you take it from there. Thank you.
A pleasure to be here this morning. Thank you so much, Jamie, and the Chamber for hosting this and seeing it as a really great gift to all of the business owners and the people who are in Sullivan County and beyond, keeping things going. I am Kathleen Christie. I'm a social worker by training. I have a private practice in Liberty. I am also a clinical supervisor for a national online exclusively substance abuse treatment center. And I have a long history in education, in parenting, in arts administration, and creative learning. And so I also do some consulting on the side for projects that grab my heart, and just being a part of the community is something that really resonated with me and landed me full-time up here in Sullivan County. I'm delighted to be here, and just wanted to take a minute this morning to look at a few things that can help all of us stay grounded, and also in your thoughts about with employees, with coworkers, being able to extend that as well. And remember, we're all living in this world together. Wanted to start out really taking a moment and allowing yourself the space to recognize your success in over the last year, strengthening your resiliency muscles. I like to say CrossFit has nothing on the training that you just received in being able to sort of keep up and keep it going. So one is really creating that space for acknowledging and saying, we get up every day and it's always like, what do we have to do next? But let's take a minute and really give ourselves some credit for all that has happened. And that sometimes is well supported. A few of you have done this with me before, by taking a breath. We hear that as a suggestion all the time, right? Take a breath, take a breather. I love to just spread the word and extend it and highlight the physiology of what that means. It is not just about trying to be a floating lotus flower. Taking a breath is a physiological message to your body that takes you from the amygdala to the prefrontal cortex. When we work under stress, when we respond to it in a way that tells our body, I don't know if I can do this, I can't keep up, I don't know what's coming next, right? We have been living in a state of unknown and fear that drives us, right? And our brains and our bodies are amazing at keeping us going. And its job is to keep us alive. So when we say, what do we do? The amygdala goes, no problem here. I'll step into place. I know what to do. We get fight or flight out. We don't care about what's happening in the body. We don't care. We're just going to burn the muscle. We're going to get out of here. Your heart rate's going to go up. Your blood pressure is going to go up. It doesn't matter. We're just surviving. It's on roll. It's got a great Rolodex. It's like, here's what we're going to do. When you take that breath slowly, and I always say that magic is on the exhale. You want to think about extending that exhale as long or longer if possible than even the inhale. The ability for you to get your body to do that sends messages to the brain that says, whoa, buddy, thanks for taking care of me. I really appreciate it. But we're going to step up to the prefrontal cortex now and let that take over. And the frontal cortex is where your problem solving, your memory, your emotions, your social interactions, your personality becomes accessible. That's where all that is. You have choice in how you're going to engage with each moment that comes your way. Doesn't that sound motivating in the sense of where you want you, your coworkers, and your employees to be activated from? So when you think, this kid's been late to work 3 times in a row, what the heck is happening? You're like, oh, he's the backup routine to mom and dad who are trying to get out, and the younger kid who's got to get on the computer, and I'm going to add more stress to his life and think that's going to get me better results. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to have him take a breath. I might ask, how can I help you? Right? So it's that breath really brings us back to a place of where we can function at our highest capacity. And so I love that. So it's always take a breath. It's always available to us, right? We don't need a gym. We don't need a special apparatus. It's always right there. Take the breath and exhale. This also allows us to consider the idea of managing expectations. A year ago, we were told, right, and we all sort of grabbed onto this, hunker down for 2 weeks and this will be over. And so we all got really excited about 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks came and they were like, maybe 2 more weeks. And then we waited and we got more tense because we waited for 2 more weeks. Then at the end of those 2 weeks, we started to get the sense that this could be sort of a crazy time. So we just went out and bought all the toilet paper in all the land in case the end of the world was really coming. Right. And our worlds changed, but the end of the world did not come. Right. So we live in that expectation. And I see that in so many people that I work with now. now that we have half a solution coming down the pike and this is rolling out, there's this free-for-all, frenetic energy waiting to just explode. I keep telling my mother, I said, I know you're going to get your second vaccine, and then you can go back to licking telephone poles. I mean, it's so exciting. And that's not the case, right? We still need to be breathing. And so I've been working with people a lot on the idea of letting go of this idea we're waiting for yesterday to come back. What we're preparing for is tomorrow by living in today. And so this breath really allows that to happen as well. Tomorrow is going to be different. Next year is going to be different than last year. And while our experience with COVID and the pandemic and so much more that's happening in our community and in our culture continues to evolve, it hasn't been an exasperation, a highlight, a manifestation of a much larger caliber of things that we're always doing. We are always adapting and adjusting and growing and anticipating. We have just been asked to prove that we're really, really good at it. We are ready for I'm ready for anything Olympics. And it goes back, right? Circling back to that notion in the beginning that we started with of being really acknowledging, full of compassion and celebration of what we've achieved together. And I love a morning like this and what the Chambers put together and what so much has happened in our community is people are just learning how to work together a little bit differently to address the need of now. And we'll continue doing that. And I love the resiliency and the residual impact of that hopefully we're going to hold on to. But just imploring everybody to not be waiting for yesterday, to live in today and to be preparing with that same agility and flexibility for tomorrow. And that means in the context of all of this, continuing to remember that taking care of ourselves is the only way we get to continue taking care of the community around us, to be doing our part to keep our business going, to keep our cool in the grocery store. I always say everything happens in aisle 6. It's crazy in there. And so I think of some fundamentals of self-care and I'm going to run through these 8 things and think to yourself, maybe give yourself a score of like 1 to 10 on how well you're addressing this today. This is not meant to be like, oh my gosh, I've got a lot of work to do. But if you find one of these that you score yourself lower than the rest, maybe that's the one thing you say in the next 24 hours, how can I bump that up a little bit? Because that is where you come to be able to stand and be able to perform at your best. It's when you remember to take the breath. So hydration, we're going to kick it through a lot of this, so I won't steal Amanda's thunder, but hydration is a really important thing. I have started drinking my invisible water bottle. It's here. One of the things I did through this stretch where I just know I'm asking my body to do more is I have a glass of water while I'm making the coffee. It's going to take me 23 minutes to let that pour through. I drink the glass of water so I know I've started out with a good day. Our body can only do with what we put into it. So hydration, nutrition. And this doesn't mean an extreme. It means, do you have a fairly balanced diet? Look at what you're getting. When you feel yourself craving and going for that 3rd cookie, swap out a pretzel. Just little adjustments that you say, I know what you want, but I'm going to give you what you need. Hydration, nutrition, sleep. I do seminars on sleep. Sleep hygiene and sleep management is a really important thing in making sure that we're restoring our body. Movement, and this, right? Park at the end of the parking lot. It's away from people, so that's a great thing. It doesn't have to mean running a marathon. I have this in my backyard. My background is my actual backyard, and I have crazy schedules all day. And I usually schedule an hour, but I won't do it for less than a half an hour. I just get out and walk to the river and back. It's not a marathon. It doesn't take 14 hours. I'm not overcommitted. It's a quarter of a mile down, a quarter of a mile back, and it's in the trees. It is my go-to. And if I don't do it, I get to the end of the day and I feel it. So do a little movement. We sit in these chairs. I've figured out standing desk. The good thing about getting deliveries from Amazon is that I can build a standing desk with my Amazon delivery boxes. So I do that a few days a week. It's great. Stillness. So stillness, I do a lot of work with meditation. Breathing is stillness. Stillness is about being consciously present in this moment. You can do the dishes in a meditative way. It means not thinking about the 14 things you didn't get done today, or the 3 things you have to do before you go to bed, or packing the kids' lunch for tomorrow, or doing this or doing that. It means I'm doing the dishes. I'm conscious of what the soap feels like on my hands, what the water feels like running over it, what it looks like to go from dirty to clean, really being present in that moment. So stillness is just that practice of being really present. Our world pulls us in a lot of different directions. Healthy human connection. You're all doing it right now, making the choice to be in a space that's about fueling you, reaching out, understanding the people in your life who want to celebrate, and also have space for you to lean on and hear when things are challenging or troubling, and that you have a reciprocity with and can be there in return. Lean in and appreciate those healthy human connections that you have. Hydration, nutrition, sleep, movement, stillness, healthy human connections. Oh, I always leave the best for last. An essential element of health, of self-care, fun. You need to be having fun. It's not the thing you get to when you get everything else done. It's an essential element and allows the brain to actively live up here. Have some fun. Hopefully you get a laugh, you do a little giggle. We have some fun this morning. I had fun getting up knowing I was going to be with all these beautiful faces. Lean into that and allow that to happen. And then when all that's said and done, take another deep breath. So I'm going to invite us all to take another deep breath. Think about trying to elongate. You're going to breathe from the belly. So you really, no, I love Zoom. Nobody can see your belly. So you can blow it up like a big balloon. So blow it up and then see how long you can let that exhale go. And just give yourself a moment to check in and say, how do I feel now and here? And then you've given yourself healthy human connection, stillness, and maybe a little bit of fun. Thank you so much. I don't know who I'm passing it off to, but that's what I've got to keep us sane and healthy in this crazy world.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. I'm so happy that you're here with us today. You're amazing. Amanda, would you like to go next?
Oh my, how am I going to follow up that? I think of Kathleen often. I actually have a church pew that I bought from Kathleen in my home. So it's an honor to follow you up and think about you every day. You're a special person. I'm Amanda. I'm the director of Sullivan 180 and so glad to be here. The mission of Sullivan 180, of course, is to turn around the health of our county 1 degree at a time, a little bit every day. And so I'm so glad that the chamber is having this today. And I'm going to ask everyone to unmute for just a second, and all together, we're going to say health means business and bring it back. So here we go. On the count of 3, it's health means business. 1, 2, 3, health.
Health means
Health means business.
Wait a minute.
Then I muted myself. And thank you so much for joining me with that. And I'm so glad that that chant continues and that the chamber is so connected to health and improving the health of the community. I do want to make sure that I mention today, some of you have seen this in your Democrat, or you've seen it out and about in the community. The number one barrier to people in Sullivan County achieving better health, self-identified by our residents, is knowledge of existing resources. People don't know what they don't know. And if they don't have the information they need to improve their own health or know about the incredible nonprofits and organizations and healthcare providers that we have here in Sullivan, they can't help themselves improve their health. So please, we have thousands of these in the office. I have them in packs of 50, and I'm more than happy to bring them to your location, your business, for the people that come in, for your employees, anybody who could benefit from a community resource guide. The subtitles are bilingual, so we really hope that these are helping the community. There is also a QR code that's scannable and takes it right to the regularly updated version that's on our Sullivan 180 website. Every 2 weeks, that version is updated because a lot of things change, including food pantries and information about the community. So definitely check us out online if you don't have a hard copy of the resource guide. And you're probably wondering why I'm always or often wearing this logo. I like really simple health messages. I feel as a mother of two, I get bombarded with a lot of information about, look, this is what improves your health today. And look, this is what you should buy tomorrow and you'll be a healthier mom. It's very confusing to me. And I like really simple, basic health messages. And to me, the first time I saw this logo, I really started thinking about how much water I was or was not drinking, or how many other poor beverage choices I was making while I ran through the gas station or handed something inappropriate back to my kids, like a soda that then made them a wild animal in the car. So I like this very simple message. It was created by snowboarders out west who were being bombarded by Red Bull and energy drinks to be their sponsor. And they said, we know these things aren't good for the kids who look up to us. And so we're going to do something better. And we're going to create this very simple logo: drink water. And there's a million reasons to drink water, but if you really look at this logo, the logo is a tap. And I'm just going to share my screen for a quick second because I share this with a lot of the students and the kids that I work with, because kids are like, I have to have bottled water, my water is no good. And it kind of cracks me up because we live in the county where largely New York City's water is coming from. Our water is great here in Sullivan County, and we should be filling up our water bottles, drinking it as often as possible, not wasting money and, of course, plastic resources on bottled water. So again, that's just kind of my very simple message. I like simple health messages. It's what I do and what I believe in. The other two things that I want to mention, National Trails Day is coming up on June 5th, and you will see hopefully a very large campaign going on across the county to get people out to their local trails. The O&W Rail Trail Alliance will be coordinating some different activities at trail sites, including cleanups. So if you have youth groups or people that you know that want to get out to the trails and help get them ready for the season, please join the O&W Trail Alliance with that work. And then with that being said, I don't have much else to offer other than continue to be bold, choose health, and health most certainly means business in Sullivan County. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. It's amazing. Danielle?
Sure, I'll chat and share a little bit. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Danielle Gable, Superfine Social. You may have remembered us from Natural Contents days. Health and wellness is very near and dear to my heart. There's a few passions that I have, and that is definitely one of them. So I've been doing a lot of different things for a while now, and I think that COVID definitely made me seek more, and the more being more balance, right? So we're in this like crazy world. What's going to happen? I also have 2 children, and that was a lot to deal with mentally. It was mentally a lot to deal with. And I think that we don't really talk about the mental side of things often. We stigmatize it, but people are definitely struggling, have been struggling. Maybe they're not struggling as much. And I say mentally, I know we have other struggles amongst us, but I think mentally it's a lot. So different things that I do on a day-to-day basis that have brought me more grounding and center. I get up in the morning and I start my day with yoga. And do all of this with my wife and business partner. We do it together. So we do yoga for about 20 minutes, and then we go into Pilates for 20 minutes. And then I go and then I go on the rebounder for 20 minutes, and I put music in my earbuds and I bounce myself around like a lunatic because it makes me happy. It's like my little bouncing, dancing routine, moves my lymph system around. And then I go and I walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes. Now, nobody needs to do all of that, right? But for me, I've noticed that if I'm moving my body, I'm releasing some of that energy, some of that stuck energy that is emotional, that is physical. So that really feels good to me. And then I go about my business and I start my day. By the time evening comes around, we go into, when we're ready to go to bed, we listen to frequencies, which have been a major game changer. I don't know why, but there's different frequencies that you can listen to that really do something for you. And yoga nidra. And yoga nidra is this idea that you are listening to this like guided meditation as you're resting and falling asleep. So all of these things have been, I think, have played a major improvement in my health, in my mental health. And honestly, physically, I feel like I'm more fit now than I ever was. And that was not out of design to be like, oh, I want to be fit. It was like, I need to do something that's going to like, help me not want to jump off the Narrowsburg Bridge every week. Right. So those are the things. And then, I started picking up other habits though, that weren't great. Like I was baking like almost every week. So we were consuming a lot of sugar. Well, that's not really good. And it was healthy sugar. We're talking maple, honey, coconut sugar, but sugar is still sugar. And when it's in excess, it does wreak havoc on one's body. So that needed to be reined in. We built a coffee habit up again. We were like, coffee. It was like, whoa, let's rein that back in. So, it's really interesting to be trapped in your house because you and change and be, you also have the ability to be stuck and not know what to do and not know how to change. So I think that, back to one of the things Kathleen said is like, you have a choice and breath, and we're trying to build a meditation practice, but I'm struggling with that one. I have to find something that really like I can just press play and like do it. But we do have a choice. We have a choice how we approach our days. We have a choice how we approach the employees. One of the other things that, has really become apparent to me is we don't really know what any human being is struggling with it at any given point in time. And we are all struggling in some area, in some capacity. That could be all the things that we know. It could go back to the, what Kathleen said, that kid who's showing up work at late, but he's got parents who have to get out, and he's got the younger siblings. Like, we don't know people's circumstances. And I think that idea of coming back to your breath is really powerful. And Kathleen, thank you, because I like fully absorbed everything that you said. And we need to all hear these things. Even when we're practicing these things, we need to be reminded of these things. So finding resources for you, I think, is essential. And it's something that, you don't need to leave your house to do. While we have now a community full of amazing resources, there are also online resources. There are also plenty of free resources. So money doesn't need to be a barrier. If you're like, I can't afford to go to a yoga class or to Pilates, well, there are plenty of free resources online to do all of these things. And water, half your body weight in ounces. Amanda, 100% drink that water. I drink a lot of water all day. I don't really drink anything else other than my yerba mate in the morning and a cup of coffee in the afternoon, and that's it. And it's just water, and it's really essential. So just keep breathing, have fun when you can. Remember that this isn't forever. And if there's a book, there's a couple of books that I've recently read that are amazing. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins was really just, that moving past your stuck point. And when things are not great, you can feel stuck. Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo is another wonderful book. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is another wonderful book. Again, just reminding you to live in the present moment, because we can't change the past. We don't really know what's going to happen in the future. And really, if you want to not suffer, you sit in the present moment and return back to your breath. So amazing what you all are doing to make our county a better place. Thank you, ladies, because Sullivan County needs it. And having these resources, Jamie, I think is an amazing opportunity for people. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Thank you, Danielle.
And this is just heat in my body. So nobody, like, I'm not having a meltdown or anything like that. I have heat issues.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Eileen Miller.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Danielle. I didn't notice anything about your heat issues, except
Yes.
that you're very radiant. And I took notes on what all you three ladies were saying. It was very helpful for me. So my name is Eileen Miller. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and I love what I do. I love physical therapy. I have a few different jobs. I work for ARC, and I have a private practice at the Hurleyville Performing Arts Center. I've only been there for about a year, so it's a new baby. I'm just learning how to deal with insurance companies. So I needed all your breathing and mental, peaceful tips, fun and all that. Those were great tips. So today, since we've been all kind of in one place for a half hour, it's my job as your physical therapist for this session to get us up. And I'm going to take you into my kitchen, but you can stay right where you are. I'm going to teach you some ways that we can sneak in exercise. If we think we're too busy, we all get that way. So, or we just don't remember. So if you think of your sink as your opportunity for exercise, that's one site. So I'm going to put you down by my kitchen sink so you can see my legs. So we can do 3 sink exercises that are easy to remember. And this is when you're brushing your teeth or when you're doing dishes. Okay, because we all have to do those, except if you're spoiled by your kids or your spouse and they do all the dishes, but I doubt that's true. Okay, so sink. I'm at my sink, so I can lean on the sink. You don't see that, but I'm leaning on it for balance. And I'm brushing my teeth and I'm going to go up and down. This is the up and down exercise. So I'd like everyone to not watch me, but to stand up. You can watch me too, or just listen. We're going to get up and move our bodies. We're going to go up on our toes and then bend our knees a little bit. You can lean on something. Your chair, hold your chair. So these are the up and downs. You can just do 5 or 10. Make sure when you bend your knees, they're not going in. Okay, keep the alignment good. Keep it out of pain, just make it small. So the ups and downs. And then you can go out side to side. Again, you're leaning for balance. You might have one hand on the sink or your belly. You can do this when you're brushing your teeth. So pretend you're brushing your teeth. Some of you I don't see moving. So if you're, it's really important. We all have to move. That's right, I caught you. And the last sink exercise is balance. You can do it kicking your butt. You can balance, let go for a second. You can grab the sink if you need it. You can do it while you're washing your dishes. I like how Kathleen talked about being very present with your dishes, and I'm gonna enjoy washing dishes more. All right, that's our first set of exercises, the sink exercises. Easy to remember, up, down, side to side, and balance butt, kick butt, balance. The next set, you can sit down. The next set are your toilet desk TV exercises. I mean, you just can't escape the opportunities. You can't say you're too busy anymore. Who doesn't use a toilet, right? So what can you do on the toilet? On the toilet, you don't have a lot of time unless it takes you a while, but you can just gently rotate your neck. So let's do that now. Make sure you're not sticking out your chin. Very important when you move your neck, you don't want to have bad posture or you can actually hurt your neck. So make sure your spine is elongated. And what we're going to do now is combine with the neck movement. And you only move it, you don't have to go all the way to the end. We're just lubricating the joints. We're going to combine deep breathing. Breathing in, do it slowly. Breathing out. We're enjoying our relaxation on the toilet right now. Breathe in and out. Nice. So we do the neck and then we do our elbow circles on the toilet. Breathe and do your circles. This is your peaceful toilet time. Nice. I love it. And now the other direction. Breathing into your peaceful toilet time. Great. So you might be sitting at your desk. Okay, that's another sitting opportunity. And for that, you're going to, I would suggest that you set your timer on your phone or a little kitchen timer every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes, whatever you want, something frequent. And in that moment, you're just going to take a few stretches. You could probably just get up just for one to three inhalation, reaching overhead, looking up, you can't see me, and then exhale. Maybe bend your knees. 3 of these. Look up, reach over your head, look at the ceiling, inhale. Exhale down. 1 more. Inhale up and exhale, and you're back at work. And that's magic. It's going to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome, back pain from sitting too long. You just set that timer every half hour. Then on the hour, I would suggest like once an hour, walk around your house, inside, outside's better. I love that you guys really, Danielle and Kathleen really inspired me. Amanda, was it Amanda? One of you, Kathleen, that did all that exercise. But anyway, even once an hour, walking up and down your stairs, walk in the house, walk outside, fresh air. So one more thing for the TV would be squats. Yep, squats. So we just did an example of that. And you could do that watching TV. You know, once in a while you're watching TV, you can do these exercises. And there are many, many more examples of great exercises on YouTube. And I do suggest if you have any problems with pain or your health, obviously you should go to a physical therapist for an individualized approach. There are many great PTs in our area. So if you have health, specific health and pain issues, it's really best to go and get that individualized approach. However, if you're not going to do that, you can look up on YouTube like PT exercises for this and that, my elbow pain, and you can just try a little bit and just be gradual about everything you do. If you're starting a new exercise program, don't be too gung-ho. You don't want to do this boom bust cycle that a lot of people do. Like, I'm going to get fit. I've been sitting on my couch for months. I'm going to go jog around the block. Or I'm going to finally clean my house for an hour and I haven't been doing anything. And I'm going to vacuum the whole house. And then the next day you're in pain and you can't move for a week. So it's always best you just start with a little bit and gradually build up. And that's the best way to approach it. I just want to say ditto to the water. If you don't like water, a lot of people, my son, I could never get him to drink water. So then flavor it a little bit, not too sweet, like a healthy sweetener, like stevia is a natural sweetener, maybe a little lemon flavor, maybe a little tea in the water, something to give it taste, but get rid of those sodas. Just get them out once a month, maybe. So the water, the nutrition, and I'm really big on meditation. So we're just going to finish with me. There's so much I had, many notes, but you guys covered it, and I want to save time for your question answers. So let's end with a little meditation, since again, we are sitting so much in our lives. And I bet you're aware that the research in the last couple of years is showing that the number of hours that we sit per day is associated directly with our longevity. So the more hours you sit, the more years of your life you're just pissing away. So I love the idea of the standing desk with, I just put on my standing desk. So I'm standing now, but the boxes are really a more affordable way to than buying one. I bought one, but it wasn't that much money. So let's do our standing meditation to end. I'm making this up now because I do a different kind of meditation. But there are apps, and I'm going to ask Danielle later for some of the things she mentioned. So Calm is one app I know of for meditation, but you can make up your own. So, and you can do it while you're walking. I love the dishes example, or standing if you've been sitting. So let's connect to the earth with our feet. We'll have our feet hip width apart. We're in a good posture. Feel a connection with the crown of your head and someone in the sky pulling us up. So our spines are elongated. And we're just going to breathe in, make this up, breathe in something you want. Perhaps it's peace. And breathe out tranquility. That's just one idea. You can add your arms if you need to move. If you want to be still, that's fine. Breathing in deeply. You can close your eyes if you want to, or look out the window and see a tree or something. Breathe out peace and ground yourself. Breathing in love and breathe out tranquility. One more deep breath, breathing in love and breathe out peace. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Eileen. And we have one more speaker, Megan Mullally Gore. She's from Sullivan 180, and welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for all of your presentations thus far. It's been great, a really good way to start our day. So I am Megan Mullally Gore. I am the Director of Health and Wellness with Sullivan 180. And you all have shared fantastic ways for all of us to work on our own wellness. And what I wanted to do today was connect you with some resources in Sullivan County that we've been working in partnership with. So for yourself, for your family, for your school maybe, and for your business. The first one is our colleague, Jenny Sanchez, is a mental health educator. And we have a partnership with SUNY Sullivan that I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute. But Jenny specifically is offering a QPR training, which is a suicide prevention training. It's appropriate for ages 16 and older. If you're interested specifically in that training, you could find it on our website. But she also is offering mental health for educators, mental health for parents, and those could be offered specifically to a PTA group or a school staff. She really can cater it to what your needs are. So if you have a business and you needed that, I'm sure that she'd be able to help. The partnership with SUNY Sullivan. So back in April, when we all started these new lives of ours, they reached out and they said, hey, we have these community learning classes and everything is going virtual. do you guys have any way that you could participate? And we said, we sure do. We have a community health champion program, which is a trained volunteer program. Anybody from the community from probably about the same age of 16 and up are welcome to join us. We use Talents, which is a platform to train them in 5 hours, motivational interviews, viewing stages of change, community outreach, and then we send them off. So those community health champions are sometimes involved already in wellness. Some of them are RDs, some of them are yoga instructors, Pilates instructors, and we took those volunteers and hooked them up with SUNY Sullivan, and they now teach virtual classes. Hopefully, when we're able to gather again, those classes will be partly in person, but they are all free. So this was such a successful partnership that SUNY Sullivan decided to roll it into their or fold it into their wellness program. They'll be sharing more information about this month or maybe even in April. But now what they have is a plethora of courses that are offered in partnership with Garnet Health. They're doing disease prevention, Upper Delaware River Council, you wouldn't really think of that one, Catskill Mountain Keeper, the Alzheimer's Association. So if you yourself have a course that you would like to offer, it could be just a half an hour, one course, or over a 6-week period. Anything that's offered in partnership with SUNY Sullivan and Sullivan 180 will be offered for free to the community. SUNY Sullivan is also working on opening their campus a little bit more to the community. Amanda and I recently had the opportunity to snowshoe along a 1-mile path that they've designated for people to walk. Goes right by water, it goes by their solar panels, it passes their Hope Farms, it's really beautiful. So they're really trying to expand their connection to the community through their wellness program. So keep an eye out for that. Please share that with others. You could find some more information on their website, and some of the information too will be on our website. Some other things I wanted to talk about, I did mention about the community health champion training. Anyone interested in volunteering with SUNY Sullivan, we will put you in the next course. We do about 4 courses per year. We cover all of the costs. And then if you're in need of volunteers, please reach out to us as well, because we will, we have about 40 trained volunteers right now, and we have a meeting with them today. So we'll find out what everybody's up to, and we'll all provide volunteer opportunities or things that they've done. Some are doing easy things. Well, I won't say easy, but simple online virtual groups. So Facebook, they have a wellness group on Facebook, and they stay in touch several times a week. They have these small competitions. Maybe they're walking competitions or trying a new exercise together. It's just a really great way to stay connected. We know that it's super important to stay connected socially. And then they're really trying to put a great spin on it by incorporating health. Another opportunity through Sullivan 180 is the Sullivan 180 clubs. So any club that's already existing, or if you wanted to start a new club, or maybe your business wants to be considered a Sullivan Club 180, you're just going to join in a campaign where you are setting health goals, health and wellness goals for yourself and for your team together. Maybe you want to start doing walking meetings. You're going to do at least 2 walking meetings a week. That would be a great goal. And we have the opportunity to connect you with all of the resources that we've gathered in Sullivan County. So we have those community health champions that we could hook you up with, but then we have lots of speakers throughout the county that are happy to donate their time to you. Again, there's registered dietitians that have made themselves available, some physicians, and just a whole bunch of great people that have decided that they would love to be part of this and move our county forward as far as health and wellness is concerned, and they have made themselves available. I think that is it. The only other thing I'd like to share with you, because I think are all residents of Sullivan County, is that Sullivan 180 has relaunched our Empowering a Healthier Generation program. And that's with all 8 of the Sullivan County schools, 9 including BOCES. We had a wonderful, wonderful meeting last night. This was kicked off in January. Sullivan 180 is stipending one employee per school building. So we have those 9 districts, but we have about 23 school buildings. And Sullivan 180 has one healthier generation advisor now in each building that's willing to work with their district wellness coordinator on the school's overall health and wellness plans. In addition to stipending those healthier generation coordinators for 3 semesters, so this is through June of 2022, we're offering seed money in partnership with SUNY Sullivan. So each of those individual schools, each of those 23 schools are eligible for up to $1,000 per semester for 3 semesters. Eventually, we'll get into the bigger competition where more money will be available. But right now we're trying to get everybody, this is the preparation phase. We're trying to get everybody on the same level and really get them engaged. So how can you help? If you have a service that you could provide to the school, please reach out to us. We have a phenomenal school resource committee that's been put together. We have over a dozen organizations. They've presented to the schools. They've said, here's how I could help you. Some of those resources are free. Some of them are not free, but that's where that seed money comes in. They're able to put that money towards something that they want to work on. So if you're a parent, if you have a relative or a friend that works into the school, if you have ideas, please get involved. It's going to take the village in order to make any gains in our health. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. Wonderful, wonderful presentations. Thank you. I already feel healthier. I would like to ask if there's any questions. If there are any questions, just go ahead and wave to me. I can see you all on the screen, or Heinrich.
Yes, good morning, and thank you all. I just wanted, now that we have had time to think about healthier habits and how to take care of ourselves during this time, how do we maintain it? As things get a little bit more normal, as probably our kind of work considerations are taking more of a forefront, and we get more into old habits. How do you have any tips on how to maintain healthy habits after as we go back to a more open environment where we interact with each other more and can interact with each other more?
Who would like to answer that? Go ahead and unmute yourselves.
I'm going to jump in because, as you know, not a leader in this field, but as a person just embracing all of these things, I think it just comes back to balance. And, you know, once you start building healthy habits, I feel like it's really, to stop the healthy habit, it's really a conscious decision. It's not an unconscious decision, because if you feel good and you're healthy and you're doing all your things, you may have to rearrange, reprioritize. But I feel like in general, once you've built that habit, it's like you're going to make the time and the space to have that happen. And I've literally reconstructed my entire day to allow for my morning to give me that time to move my body. And unless I absolutely have to change it, I will not change it. Like, that is my me time. That is my self-care time. It sets me up for the rest of my day. I sit at my desk all day. Thank you, Eileen. I'm going to set my timer and start moving my body. I even have a standing desk and I do not use it. Like, that's crazy. So that was very inspiring to me. I know I need to do it, but I think it's just not beating yourself up when you can't do something that is a healthy habit, right? Or you fall down on that healthy habit, and just remembering, like, you got to just pick it back up and keep going, because you do it because you feel good and because you want to. There's nobody who's forcing you. There's nobody who's telling you. It's all about you and your embracing of it. That's how I feel like, for me anyway.
was going to say to make sure that you share that habit or the healthy things that you're doing right now, share them with lots of people around you. Number one, so that they can learn from you, but number two, it will hold you accountable, because a month or 6 months or a year from now, they might say, oh yeah, thank you for reminding me that I should be walking, every 20 minutes. And you're going, oh yeah, I said that. So tell everybody what you're doing. Tell everybody about how your health has changed and how you did it. It'll hold you accountable later on.
I also wanted to add to the accountability piece. I've been a fitness instructor for about 13 years, and the people who have the most success, no matter if they're doing an actual class or if they're just heading outside to walk, are those who invite someone to take the journey with them. So it's real easy to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, so I'm not going to do it. It's not so easy when Amanda's calling me saying, hey, Megan, let's go. We're headed outside. We're both on FaceTime together for a walk and a chat. So it's harder to say no to somebody else than it is to say to yourself.
And embrace that you put out there, Heinrich, right? It's a habit. We've created new habits. And I think there's a lot of ways to look at the opportunities that have been provided us. I know I do lots of conversations with families about how much more family connection and time spent together this season in our lives has prompted, and how people have returned to the dinner table. People have returned to more outdoor play because we are the pod and our backyard is what we've got, and holding that up as something they want to maintain and hang on to. So it's really about giving yourself the space to say, by golly, this has worked. Right. And I talk about those self-care tenets and say to remember that there's a baseline of all of those. And when stress and pressure increases, when the demands and needs of the world around you, whether that be a family member or a job, increases, most people will decrease the self-care and say, oh, I have to put more time over here. I have less time for me. And that's what can get people into trouble. What you should be doing then is double downing and saying, all right, I'm headed back in. We're opening back up. This is going to be a pretty intense 3 months as we anticipate what the changes are, what I'm here for. That means I need to be a model to the community. I want to be continuing to serve as a leader and double downing and taking care of myself with even more intensity than usual. So when we feel ourselves impulsed or in need of giving out, remember to give in first. And that helps reinforce those habits. I popped some ideas, just Danielle wanting to find practice, right? All of these things are practices, and that word is not arbitrary. It means that we go back to do it. And some days, right, I love it. I have this my other job, we have a woman who works with us who does meditation, and she does a class every Thursday. I preach and teach meditation coming out of my wazoo. And about 1.5 years ago, I realized this is great, but you have no practice of your own. And this class brought me back to that. And it was that accountability that other people have referenced. And it's fun. And we go there, and I like the way she operates, right? So just like anything else, explore to find the thing that you respond to and go, that's my jam. Okay, she's great. She's a little funny. She's human. So find that. She asks us, every Thursday we open with, how were you mindful today? Bye, Megan. Thank you so much. It was great to see you. And I love it, because we can either say, I've been really mindful in this way. And sometimes we show up and my favorite line is, I've been very mindful of not being very mindful. And I'm going to reset. I'm going to start today. Some days meditation is like, yes, there are those thoughts like clouds. And some days it's like, what? The days it's like, what are the days I probably need to do 3 extra minutes? And it's not about how good a meditator you are, but the practice you are bringing to it. And you choose that, right? It's like, those are the choices. And the more we do it and the more habit we build around those, the more accessible that choice becomes.
Thank
That was
you,
awesome.
Kathleen.
Thank you so much to everybody, and Megan included. I know she's not with us anymore. This has been phenomenal. This has been personally very, very helpful. And I just thank you all for being here. And thank you for participating in our Welcome to a New World in our 5th session. It's been really great. And we look forward to seeing you soon in our other sessions coming up. And again, thank you to all of you.
Thank
You're
you,
wonderful.
Jamie.
Thank you to the chamber and everybody.
Thank you. Have a
Bye-bye.
great day. I will be posting this on our website, so there'll be a recording of everything.
Health means business.
Yes.
Health means business. Woo.